So, I wrote a diary entry the other day about being an introvert, and I would like to read it for you. Being an introvert means to be okay with being misunderstood, whether it's the way I talk or do things. I'm always someone who's not normal. As an introvert, I have accepted a long time ago that being made fun of or forced to do things will always be a part of my life. My quietness could be mistaken as arrogance, or not wanting to attend an event could be assumed as lack of effort. This is why many introverts have hobbies. I love to write, paint, journal, basically get lost into making art. It feels better to get lost into doing something rather than being judged or questioned. You have no idea how much us introverts value those who accept us for who we are. Life is too short to hang around with people who misunderstand you. I'm always the girl who's shy, the girl who doesn't speak too much, always tucked away in the corner, and I have been okay with that, but I feel like people have perceived me otherwise. They feel like I either need help or I either need to be spoken to or asked about what's wrong with me. I have met very few introverts in my life and many extroverts. This world, in my opinion, is very extroverted. Maybe I'm an introvert, this is why I feel it. But trying to fit in is something I've been dealing with since I was young. As an adult, right now, of course, things are a bit different. You are more open to the world, whether it's the problems or nuances of how the world works, but that does not mean it's easy. Like I mentioned, being forced to do things will always be a part of my life. I had a really tough time trying to explain why I felt uncomfortable to attend, how my social battery drained, but that always got mistaken as I'm not trying hard enough or I'm not trying to get out of my comfort zone. I think for introverts, we are extroverted with the people we are a lot more comfortable with. Like the closest people I know, they know the best, truest, most happiest, freest side of me. Whereas for someone whom I don't know or who feels like they're just trying to get things out of me or push me to become someone, of course I'll be closed off. We just like things quiet. We want to do it in a quiet manner. We are observers, and there's nothing wrong with that. I remember one instance from my school so vividly, since I've spoken about being assumed as arrogant. I did not speak much, which is why I had very less friends. There was this contest in the classroom where people were named certain things. So I was named by a girl that I was arrogant, like the most arrogant girl in the class. That surprised me, only because there were other of my friends who stood up for me and told me that she's the nicest girl. That instance stuck with me because I was never arrogant, I just made less friends and it took me time to get comfortable. So when I did not find my comfort in people, I went back to hobbies. I am an artist by profession. My latest adventure is a journal or a junk journal, whatever you call it. I have been making journal spreads and enjoying this time to craft things that I love. The reason being, when you're doing something, when you're making art, you are quiet on your own, nobody is gonna disturb you. Yes, maybe people will question you and find you weird, but I love making art. Not just this, I paint, I love to do ceramics as well. Point being, if I did not find the comfort or if I felt like I had to fit in all the time and not be accepted, I found another way out, and that's what introverts do. We value people who accept us way more than they think we do. I know that while silently behind my back, I am being judged for not trying enough or thinking that being an introvert is just another phrase to get out of situations. I know there are people who have my back, who understand what it is to be an introvert. I have no issues with extroverts, and I think most introverts don't. We just feel too overwhelmed by the way they do things. The problem arises when I see extroverts pushing introverts to do things, while we introverts do not ask the extroverts to shut up. I think I am pretty much a good advocate for all the introverts out there. If you're an introvert, there is also a term in the middle of extrovert and introvert called ambivert. So I'm not one, I'm properly an introvert, but there are many um, ranges. Being an introvert is way more fun than being an extrovert because I, as a person, crave a deep life over a wide life. I don't fancy having millions of friends. I don't find joy in social gatherings that are just superficial. If I have just one friend in my life, I am absolutely fine with that. It is a virtue to spend time alone with yourself and not feel lonely ever. Because in the end, while humans are social animals, you're gonna die alone, and when a day ends, you're alone with yourself. And when you have problems in your head, people can help you only so much. I think it's a great skill to be able to spend time with yourself, write your thoughts in a diary or journal, or do any kind of hobby. It's not just limited to art. I think introverts have an upper hand in it. Even talking to the camera, me making videos on YouTube, this is just me and the camera. But if the same thing I had to do in front of a bunch of people, it would intimidate the shit out of me, which is why I'm loving these one-to-one diary entries in form of videos. For today, that's all I'll speak about being an introvert. I want to know if you're an introvert or if you're an extrovert who absolutely supports and understands introverts. That's it for today's diary entry. I'll see you in the next one.